Chucky Ray and a Chucky toy. See me here, see me there, not hard to miss with my orange hair. I sit and stare, just love to scare him. When I speak, I'll fucking swear. With chronic aggression, I'll brandish this weapon. I'm clearing a pathway to Andy's possession. There's never discretion when killing's in session. I'm telling the truth, you can call it confession. Snaps like a car screw, smashed in like a boat on a horseshoe. You're just a preview.
If you are a fan of this franchise at all, you should all know that this is going to be probably one of the most positive reviews of a horror sequel I'm ever going to give. Outside of maybe, well, no, I can't say because that's a spoiler. But point is, this is a freaking amazing movie, and I'm going to tell you why. Welcome back to Animation Station, where we usually review animation, but recently here, in celebration of the amazing spooky season month of October, we are doing 2 marathons this month. We have the Cynical, what was originally Cynical Stain 77, this marathon, Return of 31 Days of Horror, for the hardcore fans, and of course the Scooby-Doo movies for the less, the more family-friendly side. So, I'm trying to appeal to both sides here, not to mention I want to keep this tradition going because I'm a huge horror nut, and I want to get all my thoughts out about all these horror movies as much as I can. So, let's talk about Child's Play 2. This movie's freaking awesome. I'm just going to say it right up front. If you're expecting me to hate this movie or bash on it or try and be critical with it, like I was with the first Child's Play, good friggin' luck. That's not going to happen, because Child's Play 2 is arguably one of the greatest horror sequels of all time. Excuse me. It took everything that made the first movie great, and it managed to amplify it to a brand new level that none of us could have expected. The one that cements you as an icon of horror. So, without further ado, here's my written review. Enjoy. Following the events of the previous installment, Andy's in foster care and his mom is sent to a mental asylum for nobody believing her story about a killer doll. I mean, it's sad, but it makes sense. Andy is traumatized by what happened, and it only gets worse when he's adopted by a very strict family. Like, the freaking adoptive parents of this family are very, very strict. They have a million rules, they have all these different things that the kids have to, remember, and they have to do things a certain way, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean. They're pretty friggin' strict, is what I'm trying to say. They're pretty strict. And on top of that, Chucky is somehow still alive, despite having been decapitated, shot in the face, and burned to a crisp. It's horror movie rules, man. You just gotta throw logic out the window. Having had his body rebuilt by the Good Guy Company to try and make a comeback since everyone else has forgotten about the incident, because a few years have passed since then. With Chucky on the loose again and his life slowly falling apart yet again, Andy has to confront his post-traumatic stress disorder, his PTSD, and end Chucky once and for all. While the first one was really good and overall a lot of fun, this second installment is flat out outstanding. This is not only a great sequel, but just an all-around great horror movie. Chucky gets more screen time since there's no mystery anymore, and that is a huge plus as he absolutely steals every single scene that he's in. This is the movie that cemented Chucky as a horror icon. We get him for the whole movie. He's sadistic, he's evil, and he's demented, but he's also somehow extremely entertaining and incredibly hilarious. In a dark humor kind of way. The kills are brutal and extremely freaking good. The good guy factory worker being the best one. I would show it, but I don't want to get flagged. And is arguably one of the best kills of ever in a horror movie, period. But also shout out to Miss Kettlewell with the yardstick. Like, it's stupid and silly, but it's effective and it really works. It's a fun kill. The continued development of Andy's character is quite good and really makes you sympathize with him, especially when they give him, a sort of sister, adoptive sister, with Kyle, this other foster kid that's in this home, and they bond together, and she ends up saving him in the last half, she's a great character. Kyle is a great character. I forgot to put in the written review, and I'm sorry, but Kyle is a great character. I might have just saved myself a few comments by mentioning that. The jokes are really good. All of Chucky's one-liners especially are hilarious. The story is pretty good and does a great job continuing off from the first one. The music score is great. The pacing is absolutely just pitch perfect. It doesn't at all feel inconsistent. The runtime is fully utilized. The ending is awesome. You know, like the big full final showdown in the factory. Love that whole finale. It is so freaking cool. And the rewatchability is very high. As much as I love this movie, though, it does have a few minor issues. And when I mean minor, I mean minor. I mean, like, I'm nitpicking here. The adoptive parents are very boring characters. The third act drags a small bit because they really drag out the whole, he kidnaps Andy, takes him, to this factory. He tries to do the thing, it doesn't work, and they have to chase him all around. It lasts for a really long while. Not to mention how long it takes for Chucky to die in this one. And every now and then there's a joke that's a little hit or miss. How's it hanging, Phil? That's probably the worst line of the movie. And even then it's not that bad. It's just not good either. Overall though, I love this movie. Child's Play 2 is a fantastic sequel that amplifies everything that worked in the first one, fixed pretty much all of its problems, and then took it to a brand new level with a bunch of additions that increased the enjoyment exponentially more. This is what solidified this series and this slasher villain as iconic. I'd say go watch this, but I reckon you already have. It is the highest regard of the franchise. It is a lot of people's fan favorite of the franchise, and for very good reason. Child's Play 2 is a fantastic movie. It's a fantastic horror sequel, and it's just a fantastic horror film in general. It has some nice dark comedy. It has some really great, enjoyably brutal kills. Really good characters, a great story, surprisingly great writing, and to tie it all together, one of the most iconic and entertaining horror killers of all time. And because of that, it all comes together to a strong, probably highest I'm ever going to give anything in this franchise, just a heads up. Final verdict of a 9 out of 10. It's so close to a 10, but those itty-bitty little nitpicks just keep it from being able to reach that next level. But it's still a fantastic sequel, and you gotta check it out if you haven't already, for whatever reason. Well, that's it. And with that, we're gonna remove the mask. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more of these reviews, as we have a long way to go in this marathon. And of course, we have to return to our adventures with Scooby-Doo. But I'm gonna try to keep these see you next time video things connected to the marathon rather than the next video, because when I did it with Super Saiyan Timber, it got really confusing. So, well, until next time, I will see you guys for Child's Play 3. What do I think about it? Well, stay tuned and find out tomorrow. And as for the rest of you, see you in the next review.